Do you ever think back? This is me speaking.
Yeah.
You ever think back and be like, fuck, I was that age and I was that hard-headed.
Man,
Fuck.
yeah. As I reflect all the damn time, bro, I'm like, what was I thinking? What the hell was I thinking to even get a gang tattoo on my face when I should have been playing with toys at the age of 11, bro? I look at my son sometimes, you know, I look at him when he's 12, 13, 14, and I couldn't imagine a gang tattoo on his face. I was like, hell no, let alone 11 years old, bro. Could you imagine that, bro? Like, if anyone would ever put a tattoo on my son's face, oh, stand by, homie. Stand by.
I feel you. Oh, somebody's going to get
Boof. Boy.
Man.
Yeah, so I do. Yeah, I look back. I'm like, what was I thinking, bro? But again, you're just, that's all you know in the hood, bro. You're young. You're dumb. You don't think about the bigger picture. You don't think about consequences. You don't think about who you're hurting. You don't think about your family and how you're hurting them, right? You don't see past your nose, bro. You see the hood and that's it. Like, that's all you know, bro. And I reflect on it, and I get that. And that's why I understand these youngsters, bro. They don't see nothing but what they see on social media or, you know, the hood they're stuck in. Or I get it. I understand it. But again, if we can reach that one, then we win, bro. And that's what I'm trying to do, you know?
And how's the experiences by going to the camps and the halls? And
Man, I love it, man, because I know that when they're act like they're not listening, they're listening, bro. They're listening, and I know even more so that they're listening when I'm getting ready to leave and they approach me on the side and they want to talk more about my experiences and how, you know, what they can do to set themselves up and once they get out of there. But they're at their deepest, darkest moment in there, bro. I tell them it's not normal for you young kids, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16-year-olds to be in a damn cell, bro. That's for animals, bro. You deserve a good life, a better life, bro. Like, it's been a great experience, man. I connected with the San Diego Juvenile Hall, which was awesome. I collaborated with the probation department and also the Office of Education there in San Diego. And us working together, we stood up a leadership academy in there, brother. And we taught them some life skills. We taught them about how to establish credit. We taught them about, it was pretty dope.
That's dope.
Yeah, we taught them about, hey, this is how you fill out an application to get an ID. They don't even know that, right? Hey, this is how we're gonna prep you for a job interview, and we did mock job interviews at the end of the course, and man, they did great, and they were proud and they were happy. Like, man, it was a great thing, man. It's a huge blessing to be able to give back in that way, bro. You know.
Did you ever go to Camp Afterball?
I went to Camp Afterball, bro, and I tell you, it's rough in there, bro. I was able to go in there, and when I talked to them, they had to separate them in different cars, right? And we call that little different sections because, you know, in this little car, we had homies from my hood, from Florence, and then we had homies from the Rivals, and then we had, like, the others. And I remember when I was in front of them, man, they were heckling the guys, the little homies, like, oh, you know, just talking crap, man. But what's crazy is the Rivals, after I was done talking, they came to me, and he was from a rival gang. He goes, hey, man, we appreciate it. I have a daughter right now, too, and I know my dad was gangbanging when you were gangbanging. He told me what his father's name was, and I already knew who he was, bro. But he goes,
That's
hey,
crazy.
It was a trip, right? But he's like, hey, much respect. I appreciate you. And, you know, it was a great opportunity. But they're rough in there in Camp Afterball, bro. I mean, you got youngsters in there for serious, serious crimes, bro. You know, murder being one of them. It's crazy. Yeah.
I worked in Camp Afterball for 6 years.
No way, bro. Wow, I didn't know that. Yeah, actually.
I gave these youngsters a good chunk of my life.
Bro, you just sparked the thought in me because someone told me that they're like, hey, you know him? You know JR? I'm like, yeah. He goes, man, you should get on his podcast. Or he wants you on his podcast. He works there right now. I think,
Lopez.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
I didn't want to say his name, but yeah,
that's
salute to Lopez, bro.
That's my boy.
Salute.
And he's like, oh, you need to get on, fool. You guys together, fool. Fuck.
Oh, that's cool.
He gets all excited.
Yeah, it's
You know,
rough.
I started young, but nobody would hire me.
Yeah.
It was the only, you know,
Yeah.
department that gave me a shot.
Yeah, bro.
You know, and I gave these kids a good chunk of my life.
Well, good for you, bro.
At the beginning, I wasn't the perfect because I still had I was in my 20s, early 20s.
Yeah, you're still young.
I was still young.
Yeah. Your mind's not even fully developed, they say, until you're like 25, I think, as a young man,
so
right?
Then I think, once I got in my 30s, I was a better role model, but I was more like a big brother to them.
Yeah.
And I knew everything, dog. So it was like, and that was,
Yeah, it's rough.
I think I gave them what I could.
Well, good, bro.
And then after was it like 12 years? I was like, all right, the next chapter of my life starts.
There you go.
On what I want to do, And you know how many youngsters I have reach out to me?
I'm sure a lot.
Fool.
All in your DMs, huh? All in your DMs.
And you know what I do?
What do you
Follow them back. And I'm like, hey, bro, tell me how you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, hey, remember that you told me this, and that? I'm like, how the fuck you remember?
Yeah. No,
it's just the impact that I had.
They remember that impact, bro. They remember
everything.
They do. I remember everything. And so much so, like, even my teacher, I talked about one teacher in this book. She had a huge impact on my life. When you're young, bro, and someone has a positive impact on you, you remember, bro. You might not remember the first year, the second year, third year, but maybe 10 years down the line, or 15 years, sometimes even 20 plus years, bro.
I posted a video of me saying, listen, in life, like, stop fucking complaining and stop. Yeah. And I had one of the youngsters post, comment on there like, and you told me that 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was just like, sometimes I'm in shock. I'm like, you fools remember everything I said? Yeah. Like, yeah, I remember it. And then you told me this. Every time I have a meetup for like the real estate side, some of them fools show up.
That's dope.
And it's just a trip to me. The last one that we did in Bellflower, you weren't there. But one of them does construction. Yeah. And then they all hit me up. And I'm like, all right, what's up? I need you to come here. And they're like, for real? I'm like, yeah, fool. Like, just come down and then I'm going to introduce you to people. Yeah. So.
Love it.
Yeah, I would want to go back.
Yeah. I would love to do a job like that, man. I know it's not easy for sure. I see what they deal with in there, bro. It's not easy. Not easy, bro. It's not easy. Respect to anyone and everyone who works in a juvenile facility, bro. A juvenile hall facility. Anyone, whether it's camp or a juvenile, it's tough, bro.
That right there is kind of you become institutionalized.
Oh yeah,
I'm
sure. I saw firsthand working in there.
Like I just wanted to get out of that gang shit. Like to me it's like. It's so that's the environment.
Yeah, man.
And it's become like toxic at some point.
It's tough, man. And again, the youngsters don't really realize. I mean, some of them do. Some of them are malicious, but not all of them realize what they signed up for, bro. They don't realize the bigger picture, right? They don't understand that, bro.
You know what would trip me out is that some of them idolize prison. Yeah. And that's disturbing.
Sad, bro. It's just really sad.
Like their big homies were in prison, so they wanted to go to prison.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that fucking picture, dog? Yeah. It's just mind blowing to me.
Yeah.
Then it's like, damn. Yeah. Like your goal is to go to prison.
Yeah. They think it's the cool thing to do, man. Yeah. And it's so backwards, especially if they're involved in gangs, right? Because in juvenile hall or a juvenile facility, their rivals are, their hood rivals. Mm-hmm. And as you know, when they go to the adult system, their cellie is going to be their rival probably for 25 plus years. And they're going to end up best homies or homegirls, right? Yeah. So think about that, right? It doesn't matter. The math don't math, homie. And the youngsters need to get that through their head. All right?
But I think it starts with people like you, though.
Thank you, bro. Yeah.
That shed light. And like, all right, listen, this ain't it, dog. Yeah. Let's keep it 100, homie. Yeah. This ain't it. Living here, these shitty ass conditions, fucking shitty. Well, Afroball had okay food. But, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not, you know what I'm saying? But, but it's just, this ain't it.
Yeah, thanks, bro. Yeah, we need a lot of credible messengers, bro. Like, I can't do it by myself. You can't do it by yourself. We need credible messengers that can get and reach to these youngsters, bro. Open up their eyes.
I'll be down to go back.
Yeah. You should.
Yeah.
Give it a shot,
We should go. I'll talk to
down.
Lopez.
Let's go. Let's do it.
I mean, he's the main one.
Yeah. Let's make it happen.
I'll be like, hey, fool, set it up.
I'm down. Let's do it.
And it'll be surreal to me again, like, oh, shit, what the fuck? This is crazy. I used to fucking, yeah. It's a beautiful campus, though.
Yeah, it is pretty cool, man.
Yeah, it's nice, but it's just no kid should be there.
Yeah, absolutely not, bro. You know.
But I just think that the majority of those kids come from broken homes.
Oh, for sure.
So I think being a great parent is really important too.
Yes.
You know, like kids should not go through that.
I agree with you. But I also want to say that there is a lot of good parents, and regardless of what they do, sometimes those youngsters, you know, go to the wayside regardless.
Yes.
So I want to recognize them too, because they're like, well, I'm doing everything I could. And there is a lot of parents that do everything they could, and their child still goes and does the wrong
thing. But do you
thing.
think that has to do with they're doing everything that they could, but they're in the hood?
Yeah, it's the influence, brother.
And there's so many influences around.
Yeah, the influence is so heavy, bro. I mean, you got the influence from social media. You got the influence from school, the influence from right outside of your house or your apartment. That influence is so heavy that regardless if they have a good mom or dad that are there for them and does everything for them, they'll go to the wayside quick, bro. Yeah. And that's why I believe in influence, right? Not just that negative influence. That's why you got to believe in positive influence. And just like their influence in that manner to join a gang and do all those wrong things, we could also positively influence in them. And that doesn't work for everyone. I get that, right? It could fall on deaf ears real quick. But again, it doesn't just fall on deaf ears. There's some that'll listen, and there's living proof of that. I get living proof of that every day in my DMs, bro. I got pictures of little youngsters that I met in juvenile halls or these programs, and next thing you know, it's a picture of them in a Navy uniform. Like, man, that's
how does that make you feel?
Oh, bro, that makes my day. That's a powerful influence, you know? People always like to ask, you know, what is your biggest flex, man? And I'm not trying to brag or boast, but I'm very proud, bro. And to me, my biggest flex is, but before I get into that, everyone has a story. A lot of people have a comeback story. But my biggest flex is not the setback, but the comeback. And then mastering that comeback and giving a solid message to these youngsters and saving their lives. I truly believe that the power of influence can change lives, and there's living proof of that, and there's pudding. The pudding is there. The writing on the wall is there. I see it all the time in my social media. I believe that's one of my biggest flexes. Hands down, no question, bro.
And that's a beautiful flex.